Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon Associates business for sale in the sports and outdoors niche. Created in April of 2014, this business makes $3,857 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the site is 44087. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. How are you doing today, Gavin?
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Where are you calling in from today?
I'm in the U.S., Virginia.
I am in Florida, where we may actually be getting some snow tomorrow, as crazy as that sounds. Here. Anyway, before we dive into the questions that I have for you, I want to go ahead and run through a quick summary of the business. Again, it was built in April of 2014. It has a monthly revenue of $3,907, expenses of $50 to make for a net profit of $3,857, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the primary domain, an additional domain, site content and files, and Facebook page. Gavin, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, so actually this is the first business I bought about a little bit over 2 years ago now. I kind of just jumped in, not really knowing what to do or what to expect. I kind of just jumped in. So this is actually the first business or on a website I bought. And then I also built 2 other ones, kind of similar like Amazon affiliate sites. And they kind of just been going along. And I guess like I said, I've been doing this for 2 years or so. And I would say I still work in a full-time job. So I would say 100% dedicated. But I've gotten, I would say in the last 6 months or so, I've kind of started to, I guess, ramp up a little bit and really practice and learn how to build these type of sites and how to grow them.
Did you say that you purchased this business 2 years ago?
Yep, back in September 2015.
Okay, so with that said, the numbers are now at $3,800 per month in net profit on average. What were the numbers looking like when you purchased the business, approximately?
I believe they were, I think because you all only used like a 6-month average back then, and it was right around, I can't remember exactly, but I think it was around maybe $4,500 a month, something like that average.
$4,500 a month on average, and now we're at $3,800 on average. So what's happened in between then and now?
Well, yeah, I guess, unfortunately, the major thing was, because actually, this time last year, I think I had it up to close to $6,000 a month. But the major thing, and I think the change that everyone probably is aware of, is that Amazon dropped the rates, their commission rates, the structure. And so this is an outdoor niche. So this is actually, it went down to, I think, 5.5%, 5.5% pretty much per product. You know, of course, if someone buys something else like electronics or other things, they're different rates. But that was the major thing because last year it was based off of more how many units you sold per month. And so it was, we could get up to like 8%, 8.5% some months, especially during the holidays. So that was actually a huge loss for me. I probably lost, on average, I would say probably 30% per month.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's just a general risk for Amazon associate businesses in general. And we'll talk a little more about that later. But so talking about this business, going from $4,500 to $3,800 when you lost about 30% of your revenue due to Amazon changing its policies. So obviously then there was an increase on your part. So what did you do right in growing the business more?
So yeah, basically it was, this time last year was a lot higher. Like I said, on Amazon's old structure, it was around, I don't know, close to almost $6,000 a month. It was averaging probably $5,500 to $6,000 a month. And basically what I did with that was I built some just generic links, more like pillow type links, but I actually haven't done any aggressive link building with this site. I've kind of, since it was my only site, the first site I bought, and I was, I spent a decent amount of money. I didn't want to do anything too aggressive and get it hit. So, the site's never been hit by any penalties or anything. So basically what I did was just added more content and then just did some very safe pillow link type things. And like I said, the original owner, he actually built some PBN, so he left those in place. So I never touched those. He left them in place. So those have been the kind of like, I guess, the backbone. And what I've done is just really just built new content. I also like, one of the other keywords you can see that's ranking high for is like best ball pitch, which is like kind of like they get a pretty big traffic wise. I think ball pitch gets searched for like 5,000 to 10,000 searches per month, all the different variants. And right now it's ranking in like the top 3 for a few of those keywords. So, it's not really related to this site, but just one of the things I did was I kind of branched out and started focusing on a little bit different products. And so I've seen that the traffic definitely went up.
So you focused on SEO work primarily?
Yes. Mainly just more new content, kind of branched out a little bit from the main topic, and then just built some more, I guess, I don't want to say white hat, but just safer links, I would say. I didn't, like I said, I haven't done anything aggressive with it. Just, I've been a little too scared to do anything too aggressive. I don't want to decide to get hit by any penalties.
Yeah, that makes sense. So with the Amazon Associate, how many different territories are you currently a member of that program in?
With the site, or you mean just in general?
With this site?
Probably like 3 or 4 different items.
So I guess why I'm asking is on the listing for the site, it's listed as US, UK, and Canada. And what I wanted to ask is, are you available to get revenue in other countries outside of those 3 territories?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I just haven't signed up for any other countries. But yeah, I would say like 90% of the traffic comes from those 3 countries. Probably 5% from the UK, 5% from Canada. Then pretty much most of it comes from the US. And then maybe another 5-6% from all the other countries, maybe like India or other places. But I just haven't, Australia, but I haven't signed up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are available, but I just haven't done it.
There's a Facebook page associated with the business, correct?
Yes.
Have you tried anything with Facebook marketing?
Very limited. Like sometimes around holidays, I would, spend like maybe $50 or something. I had a few articles with like Christmas related articles and kind of why this product makes a good Christmas gift. And so I've done a little bit of Facebook marketing, but I would say not very, very limited. Like, I don't know. Like I said, nothing, nothing extensive. And I only did that during the holidays. It's not something I did like, all year long.
Mm-hmm. And this is a sports and outdoors niche. Is this a product that peaks around Christmas time, or does it peak in the summertime?
I would say, yeah, it's kind of, it peaks early spring to summer, in the early summer, and then around the holidays, like November, December. So it's kind of like up and down, then it kind of levels off maybe, like I would say January, February is probably the slowest time of the year. And then from there on, it picks up from March all the way to, probably like August and September, October, a little bit right before, Black Friday. And maybe kids going back to school, it dips back down, and then it goes back up. November, December is usually the best month of the year. It's usually December that I've seen.
So, okay. Can you talk a little bit about what a PBN is for someone who's unfamiliar with it?
Yeah, so it's kind of like just a private blog network. So it's usually, someone who builds sites, they have their own private little network of websites. And then what they do is they kind of just build links to those sites, and then they build links from those sites to their money sites. So it's kind of, I guess, frowned upon with Google, but they kind of have full control over it. So, they have their, 5-10 sites of their PBN sites, and then they use those to boost up their money sites. I actually, like I said, I don't own any PBNs.
So if it violates Google's terms of service, would you say that's a risk for the business? What would happen if, what are the consequences of that if something goes wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it definitely is a risk, but at least from what I've seen recently, it's pretty easy to get them disavowed now. I know there's been a lot of recent chatter of a big site in the affiliate marketplace recently. I think it was sold on Empire Flippers and it got hit. And it wasn't PBN links, it was other like educational links, and I think they pretty much disavowed all those links and pretty much popped back up within a week time. So it's something now where if you get rid of the links, if you know which ones are, I guess hurting the site, or whichever one Google does a manual review and penalize you for, you pretty much can just disavow them and probably you can jump right back up. But like I said, this site, at least since I've had it, it's never been hit and never been, so that's why I kind of just been keeping it simple. I try not to do anything aggressive with this site.
So with the content that you're putting out with the business, you mentioned that you have a few articles and, this last month you put some out for Christmas and, stuff like that. So the articles that you're putting out for the business, are they written by you? Do you outsource them?
I've normally just outsourced them. The Christmas article actually was written last year, and I kind of just recycled it. I just reposted. There's nothing really changed. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for what I've done, I would say I try to average one new article a month. So, maybe 12. If someone gets a little bit more aggressive, they probably can do more, add more content, or just. And the one other thing is I would probably go back and look at some of the content that the original owner built. I never really changed it or updated it. So I would say, if you go back and updated some of that content or made it longer or made it, just sound better, I think it really could also do a boost to the rankings, because you can see that it ranks for quite a few keywords. I think it's over 10,000 keywords it ranks for the site. And it's the biggest site in this niche on Google.
So with the site already being as big as it is, you said it's one of the largest in the niche, what are some of the big opportunities available for a new owner to grow the business even more?
Yeah, like I said, I would really just add more content, but also if you just, you take this site and you run it through like, SEMrush or Ahrefs or anything like that, you just look at the positions where it's like on page 2 and page 3, and there are a ton of positions. I'm actually looking at it right now where, they just offer page 1. If you can build more content to those pages, you really could probably boost up the traffic. Something I actually did some of it, but I didn't do probably enough of it. I wasn't really good at aggressively adding content or updating the content that's already ranking for, right on page 2 right now, which a lot of it is actually ranking with some of these informational pages and whatnot. They don't even have any links built to them. A lot of them just, they're just ranking just because the site's kind of a larger site. But if you focus on all the keywords that are, like I said, on page 2, page 3, even maybe even page 4 of Google, if I'm guessing, it's probably like 50,000 searches a month if you add up all the volume, all the keywords. It's a lot of keywords. You really could boost up the traffic.
How much of the profits come from the Amazon Associates program?
Oh, it's all of it.
It's all of it? Do you feel like branching into other affiliate marketing programs like, Google AdSense and things like that would be another key opportunity to grow the business even more, or would that not work for the business? Have you explored that stuff?
I actually talked to someone about that. I guess what they said is, they don't like to mix. One of the guys that I would say one of the influencers in the affiliate space, I'm part of a few Facebook groups, and so it's pretty large groups, and talked around and asked a few of those guys. And what they told me is that they kind of like one, at least per page, only one type of affiliate links or advertising or, So they were saying maybe for the informational pages, because it actually gets a lot of traffic just for some informational keywords, like a few thousand searches a month. If you just maybe try to put AdWords just on those pages, and then, the main, like the review, best of review pages, and all those, you just keep it as like Amazon, or if you can find something else, another affiliate program. So there is a potential there. I don't know anything about AdWords really, so I never really tried it.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Are there any other big opportunities available for a new owner that you see?
I guess another opportunity is probably less, like I said, with this site, it's really just focusing on all the keywords that are on page 2 and page 3 and really just bump those up, and the traffic would go up a lot. But then also, if I guess just with Amazon's terms and conditions, I let them know that I actually have another site I just started like maybe 5-6 months ago in the same niche. And so that's a brand new site. And it actually is already starting to rank on page 1 and 2 for some keywords. But really, that's probably a huge, I think if I hold on that site for like another 6 months or so, and just really just build, that site only has like maybe 20 or 30 index pages, so it's pretty small, but it's already ranking for a lot of the big keywords. I think that one could really easily make like another $1 to $2 grand a month easily.
What are some of the big risks associated with the business that a buyer should be aware of, other than the ones that we've already talked about, like Amazon changing its policies?
I would say, the other risk is probably just Google, if they change if the site ever got hit or anything.
So just another thing with being on the Google platform, but nothing particular to this business.
No, I don't think it's any, like I said, it's really just, since all the traffic is pretty much organic. But like I said, I know I talked with you all, and, it's actually spread out over a bunch of pages pretty well. It's not like 1 and 2 pages getting like 25-30% of traffic. I think no page gets more than like 12% of the traffic. So it's spread out pretty evenly. So even if like 1 or 2 pages got hit for whatever reasons or went down or whatnot, you would still get a decent amount of traffic. Mm-hmm. But like I said, really it's just, I guess, based off Amazon, or I guess any affiliate program, you're at their mercy. You can't really, they change their rates for anybody, ClickBank or whatever changes their rates or whatever it is for the product there, you're advertising, you're kind of at their mercy. So I guess another thing was just, if I go back to when I originally looking at the site, the seller also had mentioned to me, like he had talked to some contact he had in like China for a FBA type thing, potentially talking about like just making his own product and promoting it on the site. So I would say that's probably another big opportunity. If you have any FBA experience and you can like just pretty much get your own site or same own product to promote on the site, you really could probably, make a, because I know a lot of people are doing that. They got an FBA and they got an affiliate site and they actually just, promote their own products.
Mm-hmm. That definitely makes sense. Yeah, double dipping, getting a bigger slice of the pie. How much work are you currently putting into the business?
Since I started, like I said, another site in the same niche and a couple other sites, I haven't really done much with this. Really, it's just maybe like one article a month. And like I said, recently I haven't really done any like link building or anything. I've really just been, I guess, slacking with the site. But yeah, I would say, at the max, like hour a week or so. I log in and check it every day. I have been making some recent tweaks because I've gotten some other feedback from some of the, I guess, influencers in the affiliate marketing space. they've kind of told me some tricks with like some of the conversion rate optimization. So you'll see that some of the sites, I added like some of the buttons and I put them in very specific locations. That stuff is all new. And then I also updated a lot of like the meta descriptions, the titles, because some of the titles I had, I guess the main keyword popping up more than once in the meta description that they would tell me that's not good. So recently I've done a bunch of just tweaks. Just it's more or less to like the H1, H2, and then another thing I recently did was I guess the logo on the homepage was showing up as a part of a H1. So it actually was counted. It said it had 2 H1 tags on the homepage. I just didn't even notice it until maybe a month ago. So I got some feedback, and some of the guys told me to fix it right away. So I fixed that right away. So I basically got someone to just put in the code to basically ignore the logo. So it now only shows up. So basically the one H1 tag is showing up, and actually the keyword blank reviews is actually shot up to position. It was like position number 3 for the past, 4 or 5 months. And it shot up to position 1 this month. And I think it's pretty much just for fixing that H1 tag issue.
I mean, I think that's a testament to how strong of a foundation this business has, that you're only putting in, an hour a week into the business, and it's still making you over $3,800 a month in net profit on average. And so I hope that a potential buyer looks at this and sees, looking at the opportunities that we've outlined, and then looking at the foundation with the business, and hopefully it's an appealing source with that. But I guess before we get to why you would think it's an appealing business to buy, I have a couple more questions to ask.
Okay.
Are you willing to commit to a non-compete?
Yes. Yeah.
And how much support are you willing to offer buyers during the transition period?
Really, the first month, whatever they need, if they need to hop on Skype or email, and then, because basically when I took over the site, the buyer did the same thing. It helped for me because the buyer actually, he lived in the same area as I lived in. So he was very helpful. We never met, actually. Well, he doesn't live there. He was kind of a digital nomad at the time, but where I was living was where he grew up. So we kind of grew up an hour apart. So we kind of became friends. But pretty much anytime I had a question, email, even 6 months later, he would still answer. So I kind of expect to do the same thing. If someone has a question, at least by email, just, so even if it's 6 months later, it's not every day, but I don't think that you would have that many questions about this site because it's pretty, like I said, pretty easy to run. But, the first month, whatever they need, and then from there on out, I would still be available by email, 6 months later, or whatever.
Obviously, the best case scenario is that someone comes along and offers 100% cash offer of what we're looking for the business. But if that didn't happen, are you open to negotiations of other deal types, like, for instance, an earnout?
Yeah, we're open to anything. I'm open to anything.
Awesome. Well, I have one final question for you. Before we get to that, I want to run through that quick summary of the business again. The business was built in April of 2014, has a monthly revenue of $3,907, expenses of $50 to make for a net profit of $3,857, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the primary domain, an additional domain, site content and files, and a Facebook page. Gavin, let's talk about why you feel this is an appealing business to buy. What is your best 30-second pitch on why someone should purchase this business?
Okay. Yeah, I really think the good thing about this business is built almost 4 years ago, so that's pretty big for a lot of the niche sites. And like I said, it is the biggest niche site. If you go by keyword and monthly searches or organic keywords and whatnot, it's the biggest in this niche. And then also just, like I said, the amount of time you have to put in for what you get, really, you don't have to do a lot of work. It's pretty easy. Like I said, I'm honestly only spend an hour or so a week on this one site, and it's still making me, almost $4,000 a month. So I would say that's the biggest things. And like I said, it's been ranking for a long time. It's never been hit by any penalties, so I think it's pretty safe, site, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, you're putting in less than an hour of your time per week, and you're still making that much money. So if you take a hold of some of the opportunities that we outlined earlier, I'm sure that you could grow the business even more. And it's already making a lot of money, so this should be a pretty appealing business to buy.
Yeah, yes.
Gavin, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me today.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks for all your time.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you will be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.